Okay, I see there's still some people coming in, but we already have a little bit of delay, so I need to push a little bit. So hello and welcome everybody from my side. For those who don't know me, my name is Robert Schmidt. I work at the OpenAirInterface Software Alliance, mostly in charge of CI/CD, and maybe also like in practical terms, you could also say I'm basically the maintainer of the run repository. And now I have the pleasure to introduce the speakers in the special session, Open Networks and Architecture. So the first talk will be given by Adlen Ksentini. Adlen is a professor at EURECOM, and he is in the Communication Systems Department at EURECOM. He's leading the network softwarization group, mostly focusing on network softwarization, 5G, 6G, and edge computing. And he's also on the OAI board of directors, and he will be doing the talk on OpenAirInterface 5G core network status and roadmap. So please welcome Adlen.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert, for the presentation, for introduction. Okay, so my name is Adlen Ksentini. I'm professor at EURECOM in the Communication System Department. And it's my pleasure here to present the activity of the OpenAirInterface 5G core network. On behalf of the team, we have 7 or 8 persons working on core network. So as Raymond said at the beginning, the core network is one of the important parts of the OpenAirInterface Alliance. Also for the RAN access, I mean, today it will be talking today about RAN, but I mean, core network is very important as well. So I will introduce the 5G core network quickly and the current status and what is the roadmap of the 5G core network of the OpenAir Alliance. So the 5G core network, it's I will not detail this, but I mean it's a big evolution from 4G core network to 5G. So you have here in this picture the two architecture and all the network function that have been defined by 3GPP. You have two architecture. One on this part, the left side it is the interface based, and the right part it is the service based, which is more, I would say, cloud native system. So this is the focus of our core network, is to provide a full cloud native system of the different core network function. So as I said, the OAI 5G core network is one of the projects of the Alliance. So we have sponsors. So Qualcomm is the main sponsor of this project. So thank you. And we have main contributors, which are EURECOM, BUPT, King's College, and there are also other contributors of the code. I will not mention them all here, but here you have the key contributor. So what is the status? So in blue here, you have all the function that I would say has been implemented and released. And there are some other functions which are under development. And I'm happy, for instance, to announce that the NWDAF, which is the network analytic function, which is very important. And also, I think this is something that could be used for the analytic and machine learning at the SMO, has been released today. So you can go to the GitLab of OpenAirInterface and you can download it. And also there are some other functions that are under the development, but all in blue has been released. So in terms of functionality, as you see here, so we implemented the basic procedure for the user attach PDU session establishment and all, but also we have additional features like network function registration, discovery, because this is important for cloud native system and the integration with the different orchestrators. So for instance, we recently integrated the core network with the Nephew. So our colleague, who is not here today, so Sagar, is in charge of it. And we, as I said, we have the NWDAF. So we have a demo here in this workshop. So I think it will be this afternoon. You will see how the NWDAF will be used, for instance, to detect traffic anomaly. And also, we recently integrated the core network with the CAPIF specification of 3GPP, which is about discovering the different core network function and API that are provided by the core network through a specific portal for the verticals. As you know, that one of the expectation of 5G is to allow the vertical to interact with the network, as the objective of ORAN through the X app. The core network also through this API allow the interaction with the different system. So to make the network more programmable, so we implemented several API like exposure, event exposure according to 3GPP. So everything in the core network is 3GPP, of course, compliant. There are also some other basic support for private 5G, like static U address allocation, non-netted IP traffic. We support also the network slicing through the NSSF, which is the network slice function dedicated in 3GPP to allow, for instance, the IMF to select and associate the user equipment with specific slice. And we support also the architecture with multiple UPF in order to create traffic redirection, and we have the support of multipath in order to allow advanced use case, for instance, in network slicing. So in terms of, I would say, deployment, we have different flavors. So there is the basic one, which include only IMF, SMF, UPF. If you want just to set up a core network, quickly a core network and attach UE. Then you have the two other flavor, like the basic one and the full one. All have their Helm chart and then can be deployed easily on top of Kubernetes. And this is what I said from the beginning. One of the, I would say, the effort that we've been doing is to allow this quick deployment and easy deployment in a cloud-native environment. In terms of UPF, you know that UPF is very specific because it's the data plane function. We need different, I would say, functionality. So there is the first one, which is the SP Gateway U-Tiny. It's from 5G, but it has been, I would say, enhanced for 5G. It can be deployed in cloud native as well. So it can be deployed, on top of Kubernetes. But, when you deploy something cloud native, particularly for data plane, you should not expect a lot of performance enhancement if you don't have like hardware accelerator. So also we are supporting for this specific, I would say, functionality like performance, we are supporting the VPP, which is from TravelPing, which is the third tier UPF development, which support DPDK. But also we support a hardware UPF, which is SD Fabric from ONF. It's like a dedicated hardware for UPF. It's based on P4 for those who are familiar with it. But also we are working on a new version of the UPF, which is specifically dedicated for advanced feature like performance. It's based on eBPF. For those also who are familiar, it's like a new way to do acceleration at the kernel level. And this is something that also we should release it very soon. And we will also deploy many new features on it, like the quality of service support and so on. So as I said, the deployment option, so there is a Helm chart that allow you to deploy using Kubernetes or OpenShift. So as Raymond said, we support both deployment. So for the validation, we have CI/CD. We have Robert, Sagar, and Raphael working hardly on this to allow the integration of the different, I would say, contribution of the community. So we test the core network, of course, with OAI GNodeB, but also with commercial one like Amarisoft and Basel. So we support many code SUI tested with several code SUI. So we have the list here, and we work a lot with the Quictel, which is USB dongle to test all the core network. We recently developed a graphical user interface to allow the configuration of the core network, to see the log, to easy and make it more human friendly. Our objective is more to stabilize the 5G core network and reduce the image size for the deployment. So also some cleanup for certain library. So I will end up in my presentation to catch a bit the time that we lose this morning for the roadmap. This is the roadmap that we have for the core network. So we are at the Q4. So I mean, we released it today, as I said, on WDAF. We will release the unstructured data storage, which is another function of the core network. At the end of the year, we should have the QS support from the control plane perspective, which means that all the SMF functionality, PCF, to support quality of service. And in the next year, we hope we continue on this and supporting the quality service for data plane. So this is why we are pushing a lot of effort for a new PF with the APPF support. And we will also move for more improving the code, but also supporting some location management function and so on. So these are the different links to download the code. It's under the OAI license, as Raymond said this morning. So go there and download, test the code with different functions that we have released. And I hope we will be releasing more feature in the next quarter. So thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions.